Welcome back, Iron investors, to another epic episode, Iron Capital Talks, the podcast where we aim to interview C-level executives, founders, legit investors in the blockchain industry and crypto investments. Today, the conversation is with Juliet Su, managing partner in NewTribe Capital. Juliet, thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm looking
How's
forward
been?
for the
How's
conversation.
yes? How's been lately for you?
It's all good. I might say like lately it's super busy timing. So some people consider that bear market is the time to have rest. So, but what I believe that bear market is actually the time that you're as busy as never, especially recently the last few months. I've been traveling a lot and finally we're here. But yeah, we've been just back from Abu Dhabi and Abu Dhabi FinTech Week is happening. Lots of events, lots of activities, but that's how the
Yes,
life is.
yeah, indeed. Very, very busy period right now in Dubai with all these events around. I want to start a little bit with the beginning, right? Like, I want to understand why did you choose blockchain and what does attract you in this industry?
Well, I've got a long journey actually to come to the blockchain space because I started from learning Chinese in university, and it was like over 20 years ago. And I've got master degree in Chinese philology. And afterwards, I've been working over 10 years in some big Chinese corporates. So I've got a traditional corporate background connected to China. And in 2017, my neighbor told me about Bitcoin, and he said, like, see, like Chinese market is very active in the blockchain space, and it might be good if you can help us to find some partners in China. And then I said, yeah, okay. And I started to learn. So basically, I started to learn blockchain in Chinese. And I remember the first time I went to Hong Kong. So I started to interact like with Chinese people, and I started to read Chinese medias and learn how the space looks like. Afterwards, like I've been doing multiple activities, basically in terms of consultancy, advisory. I used to have my media company in China. I used to organize events. So basically, the whole idea was to accumulate a good community around, to link people together, to like facilitate some great partnerships. And then the pandemic came. So I just vividly remember the time. It was Davos 2020, and we did some events there as well. And my friend Richard, so from China, Draper Dragon, and he told me like, oh, I'm afraid to go back to China because there is a coronavirus. I was like, what is coronavirus? Yeah. And yeah, afterwards, like the borders were closed. So I couldn't go back to my favorite country. And I tried to find the option. So, and in a few months, like the first country to open the border was UAE. So, yeah, I came here. I looked around, and I met one of my current partner, and he said, like, why don't we join forces? And we start as a VC. So, and then the bull market came by some good coincidence, and since then it's been over 3 years that I've been based in Dubai, and we've been quite active as a Web3 fund here.
Awesome. What was the impact the impact of you talking about Bitcoin in the Chinese society in 2017? What was the perception when towards this virtual coins and the narrative at that time around Bitcoin? Because that time it was just 2017, okay, it was a little bit more than
Yeah, it was.
Bitcoin at
It's basically
$1,
yeah.
but still
That's
new, right?
I
For
believe
some,
yeah. That time it was huge. It was like Ethereum already, and yeah, that time I remember Vitalik spoke at the conference, like Charles Hoskinson, Cardano, and the ecosystem grew. But unfortunately, the market wasn't that mature at that time. So all the narratives that people discussed that time, like they changed. But what interesting is that I remember Chinese people told me like, oh, we need to invest in public chain. blockchains. I was like, why? Because it's quite a heavy infrastructure. It requires lots of money. It requires lots of resources, and to make it happen, right? So I was skeptical about that. And then they told me about Polkadot, for example. But
Oh
no,
wow.
yeah, and lots of my friends at that time, they invested in Polkadot on the very early stage. Like quite a few, they invested in Ethereum and other public chains. And because I felt like, why do we need any alternative to Ethereum? We already have Ethereum, right? So it's basically covers the whole space. And so for me, it was like a strange idea. Why do we need to invest in public chains? But now, yeah, you see, we have so many options. We have so many L1 blockchains, so many like L2 blockchains, modular blockchains, roll-ups.
Yeah. Everybody is talking about
Mhm.
successful return of
Mhm.
investments when it comes to, I don't know, maybe metaverse or maybe gaming, but if you manage to put money behind the infrastructure projects back to
Mhm.
2016,
Yeah.
that's just a beautiful investment, right?
Yeah, that was perfect timing, and then that was the time that basically the whole journey has started, and the whole market growth has started, right? So I believe the first wave was 2012, and then 2017, like the next bull run. So
So you
it was
started
in
New Tribe right after
20, yeah,
pandemic, right?
2020, yeah,
20,
2020,
21, yeah.
2020, 2021,
And
yeah.
what was your the starting point? In which market you were interested?
Well, the starting point was basically not about the market itself and the idea behind. So we tried to create not only these like as an investment entity, but something like which goes beyond just providing like the capital deployment, So because I used to support lots of startups, like and the whole idea is that like new tribe. Right. So we are new kind of decentralized tribe of people who join forces to share their knowledge, to share their resources, just to support the startups in their journey, right? To help them grow. So, and I believe like we are like in this Web3 community, we all need to be these types of people because there is no competition. There is like always collaboration happening. Like, see, everyone is unique, right? So everyone has got their like network, their resources, and if we join forces, we can make this industry grow bigger and like better. So, and yeah, the whole idea was to keep this philosophy, right, and expand it to the market itself. So we tried to find something which we could scale easily, and the project that we could help them to grow fast. And of course, it was the first DeFi summer. So my journey as investor started also from quite a few DeFi projects. So some of them are on Binance right now. And so the first investment were quite successful.
Do you
Uh,
remember which project was your first investment?
yeah. There's like it was like Dixie Network. Yeah, and it's in Binance right now. So yeah, it's
It looks like it was 1,000 years ago, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
it looks like yeah because like you know how it's in the Web3, even like 3 months, like sometimes it feels like the whole
I
year
mean, if
has
you
been
look back
fast.
to top 20 coins on the market back
Hmm.
to 2015, 16,
Hmm.
even 2018, is a totally different top, right?
No, in
It's
narratives are changing. So I remember like then, so many investors invested in gamify projects. So, and so many narratives like happened around gaming projects. But then all of a sudden everyone said like, no, not gaming, not NFT, like we invested in the infrastructure. But now it's the perfect period of time because we've been through such a long bear market. And that was the time to reconsider your position in the market, reconsider your investment strategy, reconsider like the whole industries, and like this time like it's the time for builders, as I might say. So the builders not only in the startup space, but the builders in the investment space, right? So you need to just to create this ecosystem to help the startups, to support the startups. So we even like support all the portfolio companies we have right now, right? And people are keep doing and like what that my advice actually for all the startups, like keep doing your stuff, like don't like get stick to the investment. If you have some very like a decent like resources to make things happen, just go ahead, because so many things you can cover not with the investment itself, but with the proper business development, with generating some partnership. So you can get some user acquisition, you can grow your business, you can go to the revenue model, and then your project all of a sudden will become successful for investment. So that's why, like, going back to what I wanted to say is that right now, like, everyone understands that all the industries are great. It depends of how are you able to navigate within the space, and what kind of great, like, kind of unicorns you can find there, right? Web3 gaming, we can see like some perfect projects, right?
Yes,
So
indeed.
AI projects, right? Like, so infrastructure projects, NFT projects, like, it's always like the same. Like, there are some good things, bad things, but it's not that there is nothing to invest in. So that's why we are trying to be very flexible in the space.
In a backend, it's a game where actually you don't have to run after which market performs better.
Yeah.
Is where you actually can have the biggest impact, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of course, knowledge, first of all, to be expert in your field, in order to be able to help those projects, right, to help them to grow and accelerate their process, you need to add value. So
Yeah,
how
exactly.
you are able to do that as an investor? And by the way, coming to the next question, how do you stay up to date with this insanely amount of knowledge and information that we need to to absorb and filter and actually add in top of everything what we know right now, to be able to maintain this high level input into the projects, right, into
Yeah,
investments?
yeah, you're absolutely correct. And quite a few friends also like ask me, how can you just deal with such a insane amount of information? But what I usually say as an investor, you need to be a marketer, business development, a person who is dealing this with ecosystem growth, the person like the analyst. So basically, you need to be everyone. So you need to cover everything, right? It's not about only like, just like, okay, I'm bringing money in here and then I forget about it, right?
Couple goals, coach.
Yes, it's
to
like, yeah,
manage.
coach, mentor, public person, KOL, whatever. And then like
Yes.
expand yourself to different markets to keep the presence everywhere.
Yeah.
So as I usually say, I've got a good memory. That helps me a lot. But to be honest, I believe that actually Chinese language helped me a lot, because Chinese people, they've got this strategic vision. So, and everything like I do, I'm trying to expand in the more long-term vision. So every step I do, I'm trying to understand why I'm doing this step, right? And lots of pieces I'm trying to link together. So basically, like, of course, like I keep in mind a few things, and then I made a new startup, even if it's not relevant, but I do remember, like, it might be relevant for these people or for this ecosystem, or I link things together for this project to be investable for us. So it's all about
you
like
look
building.
at another piece in the puzzle,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's like connecting the dots. So what we are doing in the space is we are trying to connect the dots properly. And yeah, I'm always envision is as the piece of the puzzle. But what is very important is not to look at the piece of the whole puzzle, but you need to understand the pieces around this piece, right? So then this piece can perfectly fit in. And sometimes because you start from one piece, then you surround by others, and then you just add on and add on and add on. So that's how everything is coming.
Pure art.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And it's a lot of thing where you, as you just mentioned earlier, literally hundreds of ropes in your hand, and
Yeah.
you need to be able to read all those aspects prior any investment.
Of course.
How much effort do you put, like in time frame, prior any investment, like up to the point when you say, okay, let's do this?
It actually depends. Recently, I've got a call with one project. So the guy pitched me for 2 minutes, and I told him, like, it doesn't matter what you tell me further. I'm in. So just like we can stop this conversation right now. He told me a few sentences, and then I said, perfect, I'm in. That's it. But sometimes, like, yeah, you reconsider. So sometimes it happens that, okay, you're really close to invest in the project, but then after the time being, you start to hesitate, and then there is another project who you maybe like better, or then you feel like, okay, maybe I can go beyond this concept and find something better. So it's like, it's always depends, but of course the main factor for everyone, like, I mean, to invest in anything is of course the team.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because, well, it's like there are multiple factors, but everything starts from the team. So team, idea, the way they're able to place the idea, the way they're targeting the market, right? So how they identify their markets, like B2B, B2C, with niches they're covering, who are their clients, and what is their customer acquisition strategy. And then, like, if these project resembles with their certain market sentiments, like certain market needs. But of course, the very origin is the team. And if you understand that the team is passionate about the technology that they're building, and they're able to deliver this technology to the market, that's, of course, that's number one factor for us to invest. That's why it's on our website. We invest in people.
Awesome. But coming back to this particular scenario where you just said about it, when you said, okay, I mean, it's a matter of having that much confidence in your gut. Like when you say it's about the words they use, and you got the idea of his dimension as a founder by the way how he talks, or something like it's a matter of energy behind when you feel that, okay, this guy is really something, the way how he's talking, how he's presenting. Or
in this case, it's more than, okay, as investor, you need to understand the markets, right? And you need to understand the market narratives and the bottlenecks existing on the market. So in that case, that what guy said is basically was the solution for the major bottlenecks on the market, the way I see this, right? So that's why, like, if the person says that what I'm building is just to solve these problems, and like for me it was, well, you made it, you understand it from all the angles. So yeah, that's why I said, I mean,
I remember one of our conversation. It was, if I remember well, at Agora event. I asked you about if the guy is during those calls, right?
yeah.
If the guy is coming in front of you at the call, like very serious, at the desk, and he's answering all these questions. Do you look behind this and you want to bring him in a comfortable zone, like show me who you are behind this position, or you like those people that are very professional, strict to the point? And I just want to give you context. You answer, no, I want him to stay on the sofa,
remember that,
walk the
yeah.
dog. I want to see him exactly who is he
I
as a
remember, yeah.
person.
Exactly. And then we are in the Web3 space, right? So, and also, as I say, I'm very in different hats. So, because sometimes, like, you need to talk to some, like, institutions, like traditional players, and of course, like, you need to look official. But like, I just been to Dev Connect, that's the developers conference, and if you come to this conference in suit so you need to speak the same language, you need to understand what people are building, and being able to summarize the whole idea behind what they're building, and keep up the conversation with them as well. So yes, of course, then it comes to the Zoom calls that we have. It's good, and basically, like, most of the people, they don't that much care about the background, and yeah, of course, it's good to see, like, who they really are, right? And even myself, like, then I do the calls, like, I'm always in some t-shirt.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like
actually.
no makeup.
You know what? Actually, in the back end is this battle where investors they try to pull the founders in this comfort zone, because I want to see who is the guy behind $1 million achievement or something. And also they want to see the investors, because at starting point everyone is yes, we are doing this, I achieved this, but in the back end everyone is trying to bring everyone in the other side, right? To discover more.
Yeah, no, I can even elaborate on that. That now actually the market, different types of investors, right? And the whole investment space is divided on different types of investors. Some investors, like, yeah, they're very official. Like we are having this official conversation, and we have our associates. Yeah, we do have our associates, but recently I prefer to take like this calls myself, because I want to understand better what is the project, right? What they're building. It's not like because then you
Pure
just
numbers.
yeah, they are pure numbers,
Yeah.
because it's very commercialized that you just get your associates involved, and then you read the report, and then you make a decision based on the report that they provided. And right now I see the wave and the trend that most of the investors, they actually like successful project founders back to the days. So they understand technology, they understand how to build the product, and they want to help the other builders to reach the same success, to get the same success story, and they understand how to do that.
Yeah.
And of course, like, some kind of very interesting projects, they prefer these types of investors. They prefer investors to be their friends, not the people who said like, yeah, we are deploying your capital initially. That's it. So that's why, like,
We'll talk in 5 years about 100x.
yeah, no, some investors, they're
I have
talking
no
about,
idea what's happening with you
yeah, no,
between.
some investors, they make the brand of themselves, they're promoting themselves, but some investors, they just like, that's what I believe in. Like, we are trying to stay like quite low profile and to keep this boutique approach, that at least if we tied up with some project and we really want to support this project, and we understand how to support the project, and we understand what we can bring to the table for these projects specifically, that's actually also the factor that we are in. So, and that guy, yeah, first of all, I realized that he is like solving the bottlenecks on the market, and then I realized like the way I could help him and what I can bring him to the table.
Yeah.
Right? Then everything like matches together, that, yeah, of course we can make decision to invest immediately.
The thing is, when you want to, take this decision to invest, right? Without this human intelligence touch, to call it like that, I believe if you just rely on reports and numbers, is the easiest ways to lose money.
Of course.
Because anyone can put, the perfect picture at the starting point, right? In terms of numbers, we will deliver, we will do. And if you just have like a software to give you a scoring, everything will look 9 to 10. And if it's just your system behind, you are not in the right
Exactly. No,
position.
and it's also about like, the energy, and if the vision of the founders is basically matching your own vision, and you understand that you will have fun collaborating together and make things together, right? So, because I also have the example, then we invested in an amazing startup with founders with a great background. I don't want to mention the name, but recently, like, the CEO left the company, and the guys, they didn't know what to do, how to move forward. So there are lots of problems appeared. But initially, the team was like a star team with the perfect people from the corporate backgrounds, with like some big names
Yeah.
that they used to work for. So it's not about like, how amazing experience you've got like back to the days, and it's about who you are, right? So,
And it's an after process too.
of course.
Okay, starting point looks good, but that's not a guaranteed, right? Can you share a tip that you rely on when you do this kind of? I know it's kind of insight maybe, but something that, okay, if I see this, it's a red flag, and you can build the next Tesla, whatever I am not in.
There is no certain red flag, but for example, yesterday I've got a workshop for Cointelegraph Accelerator for product market fit and go-to-market strategy. So, and I do believe that lots of founders, they do not put that much of attention to these specific points, because then you build something, you need to understand like the market around you. You need to understand your competitors. You understand the problem at the market, and you need to deliver the perfect solution. then you deliver the perfect solution, then you identify your clients, you can summarize things up, and then there is like the peel for the market, like, you know, there is like
Your uniqueness.
yeah, that brings you this uniqueness. That's exactly what I've been looking for always. Like, so you should have this unique solution. But yeah, and of course you need to be adjustable. Like, you need to adjust to the certain market needs, and you need to adjust to the certain market narratives, because maybe like back to the days you started your product with what people need at that time, but then if you're able to switch the business model, then you're fine.
How do you see the industry when it's directly related to the macros, right? Because we are not really an independent market right now. We heavily depend on the liquidity in the market, right? Still, it's a risk asset market, so depends on the big guys policy.
Yep.
So how do you see what's coming next?
It's so funny.
I mean, straight to the point, you see recession on still on the table. A tough one is coming.
Well, we are moving on the right way for sure. I believe there might be a few black swan events happening on the way, but it's all for good, because the market is cleaning up itself. The market is becoming more transparent, and we understand who is who. Like, you know, we see some Superman guys, we see some like bad guys. Yeah, we see some not that good guys. When we experience all of this, we are becoming more aware of what's happening, right? We becoming more knowledgeable, and we becoming more mature. And of course, at the end of the day, we are moving to the industry will become like bigger and bigger, right to the point that it's need to be fully regulated. That's what I believe, right? And as one of my friends told me recently, is that when blockchain is regulated, it becomes fintech.
Absolutely.
So here we are. So that's why, like, we need to look on Web2 market. We need to look at the traditional financial market, and to understand how we can match, and how we could be properly regulated.
Yes, that's absolutely much needed. But in the same time, you are aware that very regulated market is going to bring us in a point where we will open champagne when we see 3% pump or something, right? That will be this what's happening now with beautiful volatility that we have to be very honest, right? That we like it so much. Afterwards will be like
See, the market should be regulated on top, I believe. There is no need to KYC everyone who is trading like $100 per day, right? So, but the industry and the whole market should be like regulated on the very top. Because when we are talking about decentralized finance, for example, like, yeah, we are saying, oh, this is decentralized application. We are not KYC'd. We are doing this in a very decentralized manner. But we never consider the fact that there is like a founders behind this application, right? There is somebody who just built this application, who provided this infrastructure for us, like UI, UX. So there's still somebody who need to be responsible for that. So at least what we need to do is we regulate the founders, the top founders, the leaders in the space, and then these people are regulated. Then they control the rest.
Because it's a game of okay, becoming more knowledgeable and more mature as an investors and stuff. But so do the scammers. Also, they become even more sophisticated, and they develop tools and strategies. Are these DeFi guys? They navigate the system in such a way that you take 1 year just to learn the move, right?
Yeah.
So then, it's still
that's why you need to dive deep into technology to understand like this crazy APR is coming from, if it's real, and what are the tools they are using for that.
When you see markets like metaverse. How do you actually interpret this from the investment perspective?
That's a very interesting question. What I believe is people are speculating on the word metaverse, right now. So at least everyone has their own understanding of metaverse itself. So initially, right? Metaverse is something like which basically it's a digital twin. So you place the digital twin or something which exists in the real life. For me, like metaverse is basically it's traditional space. It's not like even the Web3 space, right? So Roblox, it's a game in metaverse. So you place elements from the real world and online, and then you build in some gaming elements into this. So you can call Roblox metaverse. But initially, metaverse it's a part of business. It's so you can place the digital twin of the buildings, of the cities, of whatever is required, and of course, metaverse it's the perfect marketing tool for the businesses. So, and I believe like Web3 people initially they started to speculate on that because sometimes they say like, oh, I've got this metaverse project and we have this token and the token would be used within the metaverse. And the question is like, guys, are you sure that they need the token? If you've got clients, if you have the decent revenue, why do you need the token and why do you need fundraising in the space, right?
I mean, we all know the most famous metaverse project maybe in the market, which was Blocktopia. It was
Yeah.
the first metaverse
Yes.
project right after Mark announced the
Yeah.
switch and the name. It was at its peak, Blocktopia did 1000x, right? So for people to understand this, for any $1,000 that you managed to put behind, you got $1 million, right? So that's absolutely insane return
No.
of investment.
Of course, but
Right,
they've been pioneers in the space. So of course, like and then they of course they managed to make it right. So that's
yeah,
why
it
the
was
return
just a
was
beautiful
insane. Yeah.
execution and the right moment, the right narrative, and that was just. But I'm saying, even though without product, even now they haven't delivered the actually the building, right, the block. So still, it's under development. But I'm saying just because of the right narrative behind at the right moment, we could face this kind of return of investments.
No, we just spoke with one great metaverse project today. So basically, yeah, they call it like no, it's not metaverse. How they call it like anyways, yeah, they build the city digital twins of the cities, and then of course like they don't do any tokens, but they say we consider to use any blockchain for whatever that we build. But that's what we discussed about the strategy is maybe it makes sense for you to sign with like, let's say Polygon or Ethereum Foundation for them to place blockchain or to use your metaverse and to use your company as a service providers for the clients, for the users that they have, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So it's not necessarily for them to use blockchain because basically they're like a service, they could be service providers for anyone. If you have the users database, of course you can use metaverse if you understand that there is a certain demand of this metaverse.
And what I want to share with our audience is from the investment perspective, right? Because at this podcast, I aim to, connect with high-level individuals and iron investors, how we like to call you, right? And we need to understand that when we see this kind of moves in the market with like metaverse markets coming like a hurricane, right? If you see project like Blocktopia, even if you lost the chance, your next best move is to look what will be the next Blocktopia, right? So if you see this kind of narratives happening like at this level of intensity, don't look at that the biggest player, the biggest project. Like look what is the next one right after and put money behind that baby and if it's in the right time it will explode as well. So what do you think, what will be the next metaverse market for you?
But what I think
I mean, as a narrative.
yeah, I know what you mean, but I believe like it doesn't matter, like that's a good example, but what we need to do is that we need to look at the fundamentals, right? We need to understand like what we believe in, because there is no good or bad in the market. If you understand the fundamentals, if you trust in these guys, you can move forward. Like good example, Solana, right?
Yeah.
Solana was affected that much from the FTX. And so many people said like, oh, Solana is bad blockchain. Oh, Solana, like, so many transactions are happening off chain. So we will never invest in Solana. And now Solana is recovering. There are so many builders are building some really cool projects on Solana, and people like, no, maybe we will look at Solana again. Maybe we'll still build something on Solana, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you understand that this ecosystem is very solid and they have a good tech behind, and this tech is the perfect solution to cover this industries and this space, you will get stick to this all alongside. It doesn't matter, like, of course, there are ups and downs, so the ecosystem could be affected, but if you understand that these people have the goal and they solving, like, they're providing the solution in this market, yeah, you can go ahead and invest, right? So for example, Blocktopia, like what we do, public chain, some L1 blockchain appears in the market. There is no chance, you miss the chance to invest. The next step, what you can do is you can identify the killer apps or the most interesting applications on this chain, which could bring the users to the chain. And of course, these applications will be supported by the main chain itself. And of course, this application might bring you better return than investing in the core blockchain and the core public chain itself.
Yeah.
And that strategy which also works. And this is the strategy we are trying to implement right now as well.
Once you're let's say you achieve your perfect picture, right? Day one, you wake up. Who is Juliet?
Wow.
I mean, I like to have these questions, and I'm giving you context with it. After those financial fulfillments, let's say like that, right? What do you want actually?
I can't say that I'm here for financial fulfillment or something like that. As it said, like, it's about the journey, not the destination, right? So, and I'm enjoying this journey myself, and I'm enjoying to be in the space, and to be able to influence the space, and to be able to create the impact in the space, and to achieve something like together as this decentralized community. Because once you're, as you say, like, if you achieve your financial goal and you're sitting by yourself in the empty room, it doesn't make sense. Like, what is it all
You
for?
don't call that success, per se.
No. Like the success that you manage to do something for community, you manage to do something for people, and you deliver this for people, and you make people satisfied. That is the beauty of this journey itself. So, and you mentioned, like, there is the day that you say, like, oh, I don't think that I'm that person that who can say, like, okay, today I'm done. I'm retired. I can't see myself retired as it is, but because I believe life is a constant movement. There is no, like, okay, even like we are not dying, right? I believe that we will have the next life and the next life. There is no stop. It's the way you enjoy the journey itself.
I found this particular view on many investors.
Yeah.
Because it is running in our blood in such a way that is just pure passion every single day, every single event. Anytime when you go and meet another person and you learn something and you share your experience, it's just such a powerful adrenaline and dopamine that you can't stop anymore. It's just, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just it's a lifestyle, right?
Exactly. So I even remember the time I've been working to Chinese corporates, right? So I've been in real estate, and whatever you do in real estate, you come to the point that your life is becoming the daily routine, because of course you achieved all of this, you made all of this, and then every day is the same day. You do the same actions, and it's becoming boring. But if you are in the Web3 space, you never know what's going to happen the next day. Where are you going to be? Who are you going to meet? Where are you going to travel? How you will perform? What kind of project you're going to meet? Like, what kind of opportunity you will encounter. So like, I'm going to India the next week. And I've been in China the last week. Now I'm here in Dubai, and I'm going to Abu Dhabi. That's the whole beauty of life we have
Yes,
as
indeed.
Web3 people.
What would you do in a scenario where uh, the product is absolutely great, like all the numbers behind, right? The execution, if it's the market, they build, they know the avatar, audience, absolutely beautiful. But you don't like the founder. It's just a matter of you don't
No,
feel it.
no, it's like that's
Would you
no,
still do it or
no.
no?
And we passed on quite a few projects the same way. It's that you get on call, but there is like a no energy match, and something like you don't understand exactly what they are doing, who they are. So and yeah,
Even the
Then-
product is like business wise, everything is amazing. You understand this, but you just a matter of not the right energy between, so you
yes,
just say
yes,
pass, right?
yeah.
It's a very interesting one.
I mean, see that there are multiple, like I believe that we have multiple opportunities, right? And we never know which opportunity will bring you to the next level, right? If you just don't feel like, of course, like I'm a woman, so I always like rely on my intuition.
Absolutely.
And I believe that's something like that helps me a lot. By being an investor, because if you don't feel that it's needed to invest in this project, then you just like somehow feel that something goes wrong. Even if they perform amazing, maybe they will perform amazing in the future, but basically everything they do, the way they act, it just like doesn't feel good for
It's
you.
a pin there all the time. Yeah?
Because anyways, like as I mentioned, we are trying to support the projects we invest in, like constantly try to facilitate some deals for them, try to help them to do some partnership, to get them connected to exchangers, to bring them like a good market makers, whatever. So it's very like a customizable approach, and that's why for this approach you need to have the proper collaboration.
Yes.
You need to have the partnership. You need to be friends with these people. But if you can't build this friendship initially, there is no way for you to move forward.
Everybody who knows you in the space, and I'm sure is 99% of the ecosystem in the UAE, you have this signature behind you. Your
What is
personality is, let's say, how to call it? Let's say you are different, right? But in a very positive way, right? Everyone is, when we say Juliet, we already know that this is exactly
is
the
like, yeah,
reaction.
there is
We
no
start
to-
laughing and say, okay, everybody knows Juliet, right? Um, I want you to share a little bit about you as a person. Like, what do you do on daily basis on your spare time? Like, do you like to go to the gym? How do you like to spend your time?
I spend my time having calls, then offline meetings, and then maybe a bit of podcast, a bit of paperwork, market research, building some strategy, thinking about what I'm going to do next, like maybe some good strategy for the fund, scheduling some next event. And so
So there is no time getting tan by the
no,
pool.
I do
Ordering,
no, I started to do
cocktails,
skateboarding. So people think
okay.
that I'm crazy. That half a year ago, all of a sudden, that I decided like I need to do skateboarding. I bought skateboard, and then I started to learn. And then I've seen a few YouTube videos, and people told like you need to skateboard 20 hours, then you will do it quite professionally. So now I can do it okay. I've got longboard as well, but I believe it's the perfect time spending, because then you do skateboard, you need to navigate, kind of not navigate, like you need to keep the balance, right? That's the way. It's not like you're stepping on the board and then you can move forward, right? That's always about the balance. So the life is the same. And finally, that only when you relax, you can feel the balance. If you feel some tension, and if you feel like, of course, I will fall down, and then you will fall down, right? That's what I learned by skateboarding.
Awesome.
But then you relax, you just feel the wave, you just like go ahead smoothly, no tension, just no rush. Then everything goes well.
Natural process. of
That's what I like.
implementation.
Yeah. No, I meditate. I'm like I really like this Indian culture
Mhm.
with the meditation, with yoga, and all the things.
You find, I mean, to take those principles and actually apply them into investments, right?
Yeah, of course. Whatever I do is like all this my findings into the Indian culture, there where everything is about the energy and the skateboarding. Like I'm trying to bring this all into the investment space, and of course, like trying to learn more about technology every day. Trying to learn more about the market narratives, and learning technology is not like, of course, okay, like for example, fully homomorphic encryption. I know that it exists, so I'm trying to understand how it works. Diving deep into technology, understand how it works. Why do we need it? Where do we need it? Is it going to be the future of this technology? Maybe there is an alternative. Sometimes you don't need to use that, and why? So it's very
It's a
time consuming.
constant process
Yes, thinking,
of research
researching, yeah.
and self-development at the
But
end.
yeah, it's also about the balance, right? So, for example, I can spend hours like browsing on web, learning something, reading some articles, and then you go outside. You meet some beautiful people, and such as yourself. You're sharing your knowledge, so you're just changing your occupation. And there is another thing, right? So then you come back, you get on call with projects, you speak with projects, you learn more from the founders, and then you get on call with investors. There is something else. It's all like, it provides some colors to the life itself.
Do you have any certain process behind when you literally, okay, now I want to work for the next 5 hours, or you just switch off your phone, stuff like that? Or
I just like, no, I want to
I
work.
mean, the question actually is,
Yeah.
how do you avoid distractions when you are in that momentum of, maybe you want to analyze a project, prior any investment or so?
It's about like feeling what you want to do as of now. Because, for example, I've got a certain task or the plans, right, for the week. I need to do this, this, this. And if you don't feel that you want to do it right now, so put it aside, do something else. Maybe afterwards you've got a feeling that, of course, I want to do it now. Then you will do it this time or and do something else later. So it's just to try to navigate and pick up something which matches your mood as of now.
Sometimes what's working for me is I'm not looking for that much intensity right at the beginning. I'm, allow around 20 to 30 minutes just to land, in that energy, and actually to create that momentum when I'm, I want to, the fact that that moment I want not to be disturbed, because that's exactly what I've been building for the last half an hour, to reach that momentum of creation. Because that's the moment when your brain accesses certain things and gives you that vertical, and that might be a very next best move in business, right? Like, oh, I need to do this. It's just a spike of do you have this scanning of this mental process, or is just a natural flow
no,
all
no.
the time?
The mental process is all about the concentration. What you say, it's also to the way to keep you concentrated, right? There are different types of minds. There are the active mind. The active mind is the mind who's got lots of thoughts. Like I'm thinking about, like, of course, this glass with water. Would I like to drink this water? I'm thinking about the atmosphere around. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next. So that's the active mind. And so many thoughts are getting into your head. Then it's basically, it drives you crazy. So, but what is important is to have this relaxed mind, right? So that's what you said. Of course, it's happening. Sometimes I just put my phone aside for half an hour or for 1 hour, and I don't touch it because I understand I need to relax. And then there are no thoughts in your head. And you understand, of course, I need to create the strategy for this. You just focus on the strategy, and afterwards you come back and you make it like within the minutes, because you're fully focused and you've got this relaxed and concentrated mind, which helps you to achieve your goal a way more faster than, than you're just like focused on so many things at the same time.
how does meditation help you in investment, if you think that it was an impact, right?
Yeah, of course.
Something like
Everything we do is like it's got an impact
that.
on
How
our life.
can I formulate this one?
No,
Because
that's
it's
fine.
a
I
little bit
believe,
of
like, most of the people in the
but
Web3
let me ask
space.
the question first, because it's then
That's what I explained before. So most of the people I believe in the Web3 space, they somehow meditate. So otherwise, it could be very stressful.
indeed.
And because there are so many things we have, like so many information is coming, like into our head, and we need to filter it out. So, and that's the way you just clear up your mind and you understand who you are and what you really want. Because everyone will, okay, on the practical example, like one day I can have like, if I go to the conference, I can have like 10 or 15 projects pitching me their ideas and saying like, we are building the best product. You need to invest in this product. If you don't understand what you need, how to respond, you'll be like, oh my God, what should I do? But then you understand exactly your strategy. Then you understand exactly what you want and how you see the ideal startup. It will be like, it helps you to make the decision way faster than for most of the people, because then most of the people, like, of course, like they always hesitating, like, okay, should I do that or should I don't do that? But then you meditate, you've got this inner focus, and then whatever it happens, like you can say yes, no immediately, and it doesn't require any efforts for you to say no to people and explain why.
In the back end, it's a process where you actually stay connected, well connected
Yeah.
to the basics, your
Yes,
foundation.
exactly. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
At the core level, you have
Yeah.
to stay there in that foundation level
Yeah.
and access those opportunities. But everything should be related to the foundation, right?
Of course. And even the space, the whole like Web3 space, as we discussed, is becoming so transparent that you understand, like, as you said, like, or everyone, like 99% know Juliet here. So what I can do, I can be who I am, right? I can't
Exactly.
pretend to be anyone else, because if I start to pretend anyone else, people will look at me as like, what happened to you?
That will be a very painful process, because you have to, first of all, when you cheat in terms of
Of course.
personality,
Yes.
you need to remember 1 billion things that, right? Because one time you say something, next time you say something else, and so on. But once you're just express yourself all the time, you don't need to remember anything. You just be out there and 100%.
No, but
genuine.
the key factor is that you can't be a friend of everyone. But what you can do, you can stick to your tribe, right? You can have then you're honest to yourself. You feel these connections with the people around immediately. That's why, there might be people who can criticize you, who can just say bad things about you, who can say that you are not doing the right business, whatever. It's all up to them. They're just different types of people. But at the same time, it's the way to accumulate the people, the like-minded people who are sharing the same vision and who are doing the same things as you do, right? And who are stick to the same principle as you have. And that's the way to have your surroundings, your community, your people, your partners, your supporters. That's why,
Absolutely.
there is no other way to go forward.
In the same time, if you pay attention too much and your focus is on others people's opinion, is the easiest way to first to get distracted and then to be hurt. Like,
Yeah,
if
of
you
course.
literally can be hurt in such an easy way by words, imagine the volume, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, what I would like to say is, your opinion about me has nothing to do with my reality. It's just your opinion. That's it.
Of course.
It's somewhere in the metaverse, if you want.
Of course.
And
No, we are all
I
like
keep you there,
no,
right?
as
And
I
that's
say,
it.
I've got my metaverse, and like somebody else, they've got their metaverse. It's good that I have people as a part of my metaverse, and the way I see things through, that's just the way I see things through, right?
That's
so
it.
maybe like the other people, they have other opinion, but it's all up to them.
What will be that project that it's in your heart and you like to develop?
You mean my own project?
I mean, like, first of all, is there any that level of intensity in your heart attached to a project where you see, oh my God, if I will be able to create this, to have this impact? Do you have this kind of projects in your mind right now?
There are a few, but there is still a long journey ahead. So that's why, like, but you correctly mentioned, it's all about bringing the impact and how you can impact the space by bringing this Web3 technology, right? And what kind of technology is going to be. The whole thing about like being based in Dubai for me is that what we can see, like the government is supporting Web3 space. So basically, the ruler said we need to be number one in
Yeah.
Web3 and AI.
Yeah.
So, and the others started to follow.
Yeah.
So enterprises are willing to test Web3 technology. So institutions are happy to learn more about Web3 technologies.
Such a powerful message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's like government, like regulators are trying to regulate Web3 technology, right? And this is the perfect space and the perfect landscape that you can just help them to find the right pieces and the right technology to bring up on the table. That's why I really like love it here in the UAE, and I believe it's going to be the very center of the world. Like even like I've been in Shanghai. I love China. It's like I always call it my second homeland, but the whole vibe being here, being happening here, is just on the other level, right? Because what I usually say, only here in the UAE, even on the government level, people are not afraid of trying. Because usually, like, you know, any government will think like, you know, okay, if we do this, how it will resonate.
Exactly.
Maybe we will make this mistake and what people will think about us, whatever. It's like here is like, okay, let's try it. If we mistake, we will do it better, bigger, and then we achieve this kind of step forward, right? Because there is no other way to do this. So yeah, I like it here, and that's
Indeed,
exactly what we can do.
Yeah.
We can probably build the proper Web3 technology use cases, and I hope so. It's possible here in the UAE.
It's like going to the battle, and you know that behind you it's such a powerful force, right? And you are super confident that you can win the war because the message is so strong from behind, right? And I'm talking about the leaders, right? And when they have such a mentality, and everybody say,
Yes.
yeah, okay, they have a lot of money.
Yes.
No, boy,
No.
it's not about money. Money
about-
has,
yeah.
at the country level, everyone has trillions, right? So it's not about money. It's about the vision and the hard work mentality,
exactly.
and creating the right background together, right? And this is the message that it comes in such a powerful way together, right? And then you are like, you wake up without alarm, right? It's like, well, I want to build here
Exactly.
because I know it's worth it to put it into work and effort. Staying to UAE, I know you develop your capital here. Part of those all these events and stuff, what drives you the most to build here? Like part of this mentality, but other than I'm thinking about. Do you see all investors from all around the world, once they land to Dubai particularly, they kind of immediately adjust to the vibe, right? And the entire mentality in business, what's happening here. Do you have this feeling when we see, yeah, oh my God, I just land here in 3 days and my friend, is unbelievable what I found here. Like I have this kind of feedback all the time with people at the
It
events.
depends. Some people don't like it. But for me, you know, I started here like 3 years ago, and lots of people were very skeptical about Dubai. And I remember when we got on call with projects and we said, like, oh, we're based in Dubai. They're like, what? And because, yeah, to be very honest, it was really hard to find somebody like quite credible here. But then all of a sudden, like I've seen like the way the community used to grow here, right? And what we achieve right now, and like I believe it's the most attractive destination for all the people globally. It's not, as you correctly mentioned, it's not only about the capital. and it's about the ecosystem. So, and of course, like from the overall perspective, I believe it's not only my goal, it's your goal, it's the goal of the whole Web3 community, is to place the proper, legit, and Web3 ecosystem here. But we have the major advantage here because we have regulators to hear our voice, at least like as of now, right? And we have the physical infrastructure that they provide to us. So we have all this like DIFC Innovation Hub, different buildings, good services, RagDAO, right? So it's like they build the not only the ecosystem as community, but only also the physical facilities. Then you
Yes.
can place your events, then you can place your community, then you have the very nice, like, you know, co-working atmosphere, for example. And of course, it's super important for everyone because, yeah.
It's also hard to absorb this kind of energy and also information once you land for a week, right? Because Dubai, as any other super hype vacation and business location, right? It has this element where being such a visited place are those elements that are coming together, right?
Yeah.
With some bad things, right? Coming from experiences with taxis or whatever, you order something, they brought you something else, and
Yeah.
those kind
That's
of
what I say.
tourism entertainment, to call it like that, right? But after you spend some time here, you really understand this foundation that you mentioned, and
Yeah.
it's indeed a super powerful ecosystem.
So the services are so good here. What I usually say, the services are so good here. So you can have the broader vision and you can focus on something like really important because the rest is provided. That's why like everyone is like, so like there is like such a rapid speed and the rapid movement happening here in the UAE.
Absolutely. We need to adjust quickly and be part of this ecosystem.
Yeah.
Uh,
And for
Yes,
us, of
please.
course, like also the goal, like, you know, you mentioned the events. So we are trying to help people to navigate within the space and to help them to find their niche here because so many people come in here to Dubai to just like, you know, to any place in the UAE and they have no idea of what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
So that's why like we could be like a guide for them. So to say like, okay, if you want to set up the company, you've got a few options. So you need to understand yourself which options fits your business better. Then afterwards, if you want to have some partners, we have these people and these people, we can help you to connect to these people.
Put you on the
Just
right
like, yeah,
path.
so people will be grateful and then they can find their place exactly as a part of this ecosystem. So that's the way we can just, you know, help this ecosystem to grow.
Yes, indeed. Juliet, I just want to thank you for coming today at our podcast. I'm super grateful for your insights. And I want to see you building great things in the industry as
Thanks
you
a lot.
achieve so far. And where they can find you. If someone wants to I don't know, text you, email you, LinkedIn or something, you want to share your profiles?
So, well, I'm available on Twitter, LinkedIn, Telegram, WeChat, Signal, any socials. But yeah, it's
Okay.
Juliet Su mostly everywhere.
Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you consider. Drop us a comment how you like it, and find us on major platforms, Iron Capital News. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.